channel. I am finally back with the live streams. Yes, I'm going to do a few live streams tonight, hopefully, without any interruptions. So, here we are for this one. I promised I was going to show you this a few days ago. I have been extremely busy doing other things. I have personal things that are going on that I need to take care of. So, first thing is first, and this is only going to be if this basically works. So, how to get the Madden 22 roster file. It's not coming from EA Sports itself. It's coming from this username, and I'll show you the username. So you go over to the roster here on the Madden 21 roster community files. All right. So once it gets done loading, it is right here. That's basically it right here. There is this one that you can get, and then there's this one that you can get. They're kind of both the same. And you also have one that you can also get for this one here. So, like I said, be on the lookout for some of this stuff, because some of this is not technically realistic. So you basically want to watch out for what this all is. But like I said, some of them are getting deleted because probably at this point they're most likely going to be working on a new file for Madden 22 for the Madden for make it look like Madden 23. Now, for the roster updates for what Madden 23 is supposedly going to look like. Now I'm going to download that file. We're going to go over to the roster that I have. I'm going to show you some of the free agents that are basically looking to be on the roster. Y'all know I'm a Bills fan, so this is what it kind of looks like to me. You have Case Keenum, you have Matt Barkley on the team. For running backs, it's basically these guys here at this point, because James Cook is not on here yet. You have Stephon Diggs, James Crowder is now a Buffalo Bill, Gabriel Davis, Isaiah McKenzie changed his number to 6, on and so forth for the rest of these guys. You could correct this yourself when you see this Lance Lenore, because I don't even know if he's even actually on the Bills. As you see, we had O.J. Howard as well, so you get O.J. Howard as for the Bills. For other players, you get not a real Carlos Basham Jr., but you get the guy that everything is correct basically on his end. I'm going to leave Jerry Hughes alone. This is actually from last year. I know he's a Houston Texan this year, but we're going to leave Jerry Hughes alone. You also get Gregory Russo, or how you say his last name. At linebacker position, we have Von Miller. Everything else is pretty much the same. I did change Taron Johnson's number to 7. Levi Wallace is still a Buffalo Bill. Now, if you want to move to the Steelers, that's fine and dandy from me. It doesn't matter to me. As we move along here, we're also going to move on to the Bears. The Bears do not have a certain person, which is Allen Robinson. He went to the LA Rams this year. Khalil Mack is no longer a Chicago Bear. This is the Justin Fields. Now, this is not a Justin Fields I created. This is the Justin Fields that came from this file. Everything is correct except the helmet. As for the Bengals I didn't really mess around with the Bengals roster that much, because as far as I know, they only got that one tight end from the Jets that I know. But other than that, you guys could go back and you could correct this. The Broncos, of course, I'm going to give them Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's going to be on there as well. For the Browns, it's going to be the same. I'm going to give you Amari Cooper. Deshaun Watson's going to be on there. You guys will have this pretty much figured out. And I will get to this in a minute here. Jacoby Brissett is on here. Joshua Dobbs is on here, because I believe Joshua Dobbs is on the roster. So yeah, that's basically what it looks like for the Cleveland Browns side of things. For the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, nothing has really changed. For the Cardinals, you also get Chandler Jones, but also you're going to get Marquise Brown, who is now a Arizona Cardinal. So with that being said, that's that for that. Now for the Chargers, you have Khalil Mack. You also now have a wide receiver and corner in J.C. Jackson. If that is not his number, you can correct it. The Chiefs will get. I'm also going to probably move Tyrann Mathieu to the Saints to make it kind of sort of realistic. Juju Smith-Schuster is on this team. I believe Marquez Scanling is also on the Chiefs now too, so you can play around with that as well. Gilmore is now a Colt. Matt Ryan is now a Colt. Cowboys I didn't really do anything with. Tyreek Hill is now a Miami Dolphin. The Eagles I didn't really mess around with that as much, except for A.J. Brown, especially with that trade that happened in the draft this year. The Falcons, they didn't get really a whole lot of. I didn't really mess around with the Falcons. All I did was give them Marcus Mariota. Washington now gets their new quarterback, which is Carson Wentz. The 49ers I didn't really mess with. The Giants, this is the Giants roster. Guys, Jake Fromm is now a Giant. Tyrod Taylor is now a Giant. I know that Tyrod does not have that number. So like I said, guys, that's basically it for the Giants because I'm not really going to mess around with the whole roster deal. Miles Jack, I know he's not a Jaguar. I know he's on a new team. But if you're a Jaguar fan, this is the creative Trevor Lawrence. Also, for that matter of fact, you also get Christian Kirk. So you basically got a decent team for the Jags just to get it out of the way for you. So yeah, for the Jets, all I did was change not real Zach Wilson, but I changed the creative Zach Wilson's number to 2 because that's the number he has now. You can also put the rookies on here yourselves, guys. I mean, you can mess around with the roster all day long. For the Lions, the guy that I gave him was DJ Chark because that's where he went. For the Packers, as you know, there is no Devontae Adams. So Sammy Watkins is now the big guy for the Packers. Marquez Scanling, I'm still going to leave him on the Packers for now unless someone else wants that changed. Looking at the rest of the grid here, we don't really have a whole lot of things that I did. For the Patriots, I gave you guys Devontae Parker because Devontae Parker is now a Patriot. Now, I'm going to go to Mac Jones here for a second. I'm going to put this into perspective so everybody can see this. Mac Jones is pretty much well correct. Everything is right on him. Now, when we go to the equipment-wise, when I first downloaded this, Mac Jones' sleeves were tight. Mac Jones' sleeves are not that way realistically if you're a Patriot fan. He has the long jersey sleeve style. As you see, his arm sleeves, they're white. I do not believe that I don't believe that they're the color of the Patriots logo. As everything else, I believe that he wears a quarterback wrist. I did the wristband, but basically everything else is correct. His sock height, I'm not really quite sure about. You can mess with that, and the cleats you can mess with. But everything else I corrected for you. But as we move along here, for the Raiders, you get Devontae Adams. No big deal there, right? As you see, I took care of a lot of things. I basically sent Henry Ruggs on a free agent trip. He is now basically realistically no longer part of the game, so I basically put him on the list where he's at. For the Rams, you guys got Allen Robinson. You also got Bobby Wagner. For the Ravens, I didn't do shit. Here's my language, YouTube. For the Saints, I didn't do anything. For these guys, I did sort of a trade. I gave Drew Lock to the Seattle Seahawks. So, Seattle, you get Drew Lock. Steelers, you are now going to have Mitchell Trubisky. I left Dwayne Haskins alone. May he rest in peace. Mason Rudolph is also your quarterback. Here's Najee Harris, guys. I did give him the current helmet that he has for the team. You guys are now on your own for wide receivers for the Steelers. As you know, that this is basically what it's going to look like for you guys. Now, in that trade that I did to get Deshaun Watson to Cleveland, this is not off of franchise mode. This is basically just for me to BS with the game. So, Baker Mayfield, ladies and gentlemen, is now a Houston Texan. Houston Texans also have another weapon. He has Philip Dorsett on his team. He doesn't really have a whole lot, but he can, you can reload and give him what he needs. The Titans don't really have anybody that I gave away, and neither does the Vikings. Every other team has the players that they need. Now, when we go to free agents, here's your free agents that basically I know of. Julio, Mitchell Schwartz is still on here. Odell Beckham, Cole Beasley, Robert Woods, Melvin Gordon, as far as I know, he's released. As of a few weeks, last week or earlier this week, I did see Jarvis Landry get added to the Saints. So Jarvis Landry is going to get signed by the Saints. But yeah, I mean, this is basically some of the guys that I basically cut off the rosters. And once you play franchise mode, they're most likely going to be going to a new home. So like I said, guys, that's it for now for the way that this looks. Just wanted to let you know how to make it sort of look like Madden 23. So basically, guys, that's basically all it is. That's all I did for you. I'm not going to upload this to Madden Share. I'm not going to add it to the community file. You guys could just add that file and then just mess with the players where they went during the offseason this year. If you want to add the rookies, that's fine by you. Yeah, let me know how it works for you guys. But like I said, guys, that's it for now. Just wanted to show you how this looks like, how you can get it, because I got asked this a couple of times when I stream. But like I said, guys, I'm your boy Spooky Gamer 1993. Hollering at you. Y'all stay safe. Peace, love. I'll see you next time.